Hey y'all, and welcome to PolitiBrawl. My name is Brian, and Karoline Leavitt has had enough of these ridiculous reporters who are still asking questions as to why the Democrats can't get their act together when it comes to the Schumer shutdown. Let's dive in.
Thank you. At the top of the briefing, you made a statement about that the Democrats are interested in giving health care to illegal immigrants.
Yes, they are.
U.S. law already prohibits that. It's a 1996 law saying that they cannot give unauthorized immigrants any federally subsidized health care coverage through Medicaid, the Affordable Care Act, or the Children's Health Insurance Program. There seems to be a disconnect in the messaging.
Are you denying that Medicaid money has never gone to illegal aliens in the United States of America?
I'm asking you if you can explain the disconnect in the message.
I most certainly can. The Democrats' proposal, their continuing resolution, let me just reiterate, the Republicans' continuing resolution was a clean continuing resolution. There was no partisan politics injected into it. There were no conservative wish lists injected to it. What the Republicans want, and still want to this very second, is a clean continuing resolution to fund the United States government. What did the Democrats want in their continuing resolution? They inserted a provision to undo a provision in the Working Families Tax Cut, the One Big Beautiful Bill, that ended taxpayer-funded health care illegal benefits for illegal aliens. Democrats' proposal would require Medicaid to pay more for emergency care provided to illegal aliens than Medicaid does for American patients who are disabled, elderly, or children. And this bill would have also allowed California to continue a gimmick that funds its Medicaid for illegals program. Those are things that we ended, the Trump administration ended, with the passage and the signage of the One Big Beautiful Bill. And it is an undisputed fact, a fact that under the Biden administration, illegal aliens were absolutely receiving taxpayer-funded health care benefits. In fact, in fiscal year 2024, Medicaid costs for emergency services for illegal immigrants skyrocketed by 142% from the previous year to $9.1 billion. That's $9.1 billion taxpayer dollars that were going to emergency services for illegals. Between President Trump's last full fiscal year under his first administration and Joe Biden's last full fiscal year, Medicaid spending on emergency services for illegal immigrants nearly tripled. There was an increase of 196% between 2020 and 2024. And I have a chart here for you, and I'm more than happy to email it to you. I'd also like to add, because some were asking dishonest questions yesterday about emergency rooms. In Southern California, according to healthcare professionals in 2023 under the Biden administration, Southern California's, quote, entire healthcare system was being bombarded with illegal immigrants and forcing American patients to endure longer wait times. In Denver, Colorado, the CEO of Denver Health stated that 8,000 illegal immigrants made 20,000 visits to the city's health system in 2023, leaving an uncompensated bill totaling over $10 million. So when an illegal alien goes to the emergency room, who's paying for it? The American taxpayer. The main safety net hospital in Denver had to turn away patients due to the massive influx of illegal immigrants into the community, and UC Health hospitals in 2024 reported their system was under stress from an increasing number of migrants. As a result, according to the head of emergency departments and urgent cares across the hospital system, quote, access is impeded for everyone. These are healthcare professionals who dealt with this directly, and there's a lot more where that came from. It is an undisputed fact that Democrats want to give taxpayer-funded healthcare benefits to illegal immigrants, period.
You have now under Trump new management, and I'm loving every single second of this. And the mainstream media is starting to learn its lesson until once again, these reporters ask these really dumb, easy to debunk questions. This should not be hard, ladies and gentlemen. This should be the easiest slam dunk of all time. All you have to do is point out not only to the numbers and data, which she did point to, you can point to Democrats' own words. Just listen to this. In an interview with Fox Business this week, Khanna said the government has shut down in part because Democrats are looking to make it easier for illegal immigrants to secure taxpayer-funded benefits. There, straight from the horse's mouth, he knows the real reason the Democrat Party is doing this. Which begs the question, well, why are they doing it? And by the way, shout out to Khanna. He is a workable Democrat. If he's on the ticket in 2028, I'm actually going to be a little bit nervous, particularly if he's on the ticket with Andy Bashir. I'm letting the cat out of the bag early. Those are the two guys I would not want to go up against. The reason I'm bringing him up is because, again, he's a workable Democrat who's willing to admit the truth. Now, he does downplay the truth later in the interview, but the reality is the Republicans want a clean resolution. They didn't want to have any extra politics. They just wanted to make sure everything goes through as normal. And as a matter of fact, this would also make it harder for Trump to fire a ton of federal employees. Well, the Democrats just gave everyone a good reason to do so. All right, we want to clean out the government, the waste and the bloat, and now the Democrats seem like, oh, no, don't touch our government employees. Well, that's part of the problem, isn't it? Our government employees, not the collective our. They're meaning theirs. It's like our democracy. No, that's not what that word means. That's not what you're implying. You're implying that it's your democracy. These are your people. Just in the same way that they talk about illegal immigrants. They're their people. All right? They're not for Americans. They are for Democrats. And so the real question is why? Well, one, there's a population decline. And we haven't really seen the effects yet, but let me put it to you this way. When millennials are out here still screaming that they can't get a house, what we're really saying is we weren't prepared for it. We weren't given a good education for it. And that's a whole nother ball of yarn. I'd love to do more on that subject, just talking about how our own education system set us up for failure. As a matter of fact, I might even go on some writing tours about that, because that's what I actually thought I was going to do coming out of college. I thought I was going to write about politics. Turns out I was right, just in a completely different sense. But the reality is, the Democrats think that this is how you're going to properly replace people that technically aren't there. Remember, the boomers are retiring, which means larger costs in Social Security and Medicare. And that also means that the highest earners in America right now are aging out. And there aren't as many people to replace that number and to produce for that number. This is a huge problem going on in Korea right now, or South Korea, as well as Japan. This is happening in China. As a matter of fact, it's happening all over the world except for pretty much 3 places. The Middle East, India, and Africa. Everyone else is experiencing some sort of decline. And that is a huge problem. It's also a problem for the markets trying to figure out where to actually invest their money. Well, if you can't bet on the future because there aren't as many people to be producing, guess what? You're going to have less money coming into your country. And so the Democrats, they've learned the hard way that taxing their way out of problems isn't going to solve anything. So they're trying to bring in as many people as possible, and that's why the open borders policy was the thing under the Biden administration. 20 years ago, the Democrats wouldn't have dared done this, because they used to protect the American worker from that same style of invasion. They were pro-union. They cared about the working class. They cared about everyone getting a square deal. And now that's gone. And I lament that because, I'm going to be honest, if I put myself in a position 20 years ago, I would likely be voting for a Democrat. I can't believe I'm saying this because I come from a Republican home. That would have been heresy in my family. But no, the Republican policy at the time was a little bit skewed in 2 wrong directions. Both of those, however, seem like they've been corrected now. So going forward, I'm still staying conservative for the most part. But the Democrats have left common sense and reason at the doorstep as they continue to cater to rich white liberals. And rich white liberals don't live in America. They live in their own little enclaves. They live in their own little areas, separated from the rest of the world, either by a gate or by a very tall wall. And so the Democrat Party is just scrambling for an answer, and they don't have a good one. And so you then have a mainstream media outlets who still aren't with the program, who still haven't figured it out, and are still asking, well, what's really going on with this continuing resolution? No, the Democrat Party wants to keep major Medicare cuts that were amended by the big beautiful bill in order to make it more affordable to get more Americans working and to help our actual problems with the growing debt. But the Democrats don't want that. They don't care about that. They would care more about our government shutting down and caring about illegal immigrants than they would care about you. That's the sad truth of this matter. And Karoline Leavitt does a splendid job, as always. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. My name is Brian. Hope you enjoyed that segment here on PolitiBrawl. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you on the next one. Until then, y'all have a good one.